new here, my name's Mr. Hughes, and I fix up old tanks. For all those wondering, the T-34 is without doubt the worst tank in the world. Well, to drive.
Oh, bugger.
To steer the vehicle, you literally need to have the strength of Goliath, and the gears could test the patience of a saint. I also was having a little bit of trouble with the clutch not wanting to disengage, but towards the end it freed off and I could actually get it into gear without stopping the engine, which was rather nice. But it was probably the worst experience in the world of driving a tank, but at the same time, definitely the most fun. As you can see here, I was having extreme difficulty with the left tiller. It just didn't seem to want to disengage the clutch. The way these work is you pull it back halfway and it engages a clutch, and you pull it back all the way and it engages a brake, which locks the track. The brake was working, but the clutch wasn't, so it was never disconnecting drive, whereas the right hand tiller was working right, as you could see, which meant I just had to think about it and get it in the shed only using the right hand tiller, which was pretty interesting for the first time ever driving it. Again, for those that haven't been following the channel, this was the first time we'd actually got this tank running, and it probably hadn't ran for 25 to 30 years prior to that, and I had no idea what it was going to be like, and my plan was just to get it running so we could make sure that all the gearbox and the final drives all worked. So that's why I wanted to get it going. I actually spent ages with the injector pump, taking it to bits to actually get the engine to start, and it was a real pain. Really didn't want to start. And later on in the video, it'll be blindingly obvious why that was. The reason I'm driving like a sissy girl is because I'm worried that one false move and I could knock my whole shed down, and Dad would not be impressed.
Yeah? You're in the dry. You great? Yeah, you're well under the roof. Yeah. Seb, would you like your overalls back out?
Oh yeah. So the next thing we did was start to remove the turret. With the turret off, it's a lot easier to actually get inside the vehicle and take the engine out and just generally do it up. So it made sense to take it out. So it was a job for the Foden. Now the turret is pretty heavy. I would say it must be going on for 5 to 6 ton. The Foden didn't really know it was doing it. But a very dangerous job, so you always need to make sure that no one stood anywhere near it, because I don't care how tested your chains are or whatever, if this thing falls, it could kill someone. So you need to make sure you have your wits about you when you're lifting a turret off a T-34. We then put the T-34 in the main workshop and begun to take it all to pieces. This was a massive task.
No, these.
Yeah. Just see if you can blade through there. One red out. Gone. Oh, yes. With the engine and the gearbox out, we could then see what we were up against. And we had a lot to remove inside still. Pipes, fitting wires, fuel tanks. But we got it all done. And then the next thing was to take it outside, get it off the tracks, and then prepare for a bit of aqua blasting. What make a gun is it?
Draper, man. gun is fuck shot.
That is looking brilliant though, isn't it? In bit of primer.
Well, it is, but it's very thin because I don't want to get runs.
No, but it don't need to be a very good. Now with the T-34 all in grey primer, it was time to start the needle gunning of the interior of the vehicle. This was also a massive job. Right, so just live. Yeah. Keep doing that. Do it again. Oh, it's bad. Yes, it was bad. Very bad. Actually, very, 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 very bad. It's knackered all the way.
Yeah, it shouldn't actually.
Keep going. It's knackered right up to the other end. Yeah, she is. I'm very fortunate to have great friends that are also into tanks, and one of them said, "I've got an engine if you can get it out of my barn." That's nearly 2 tons of engine in the back of the Hilux. Of course, it loved every minute of it. Right, so the reason we've not done anything on it for a little while is for all the stuff that people don't realise that take ages and ages. Like, for instance, we've had to have remanufactured all new seals for the final drives and for the front idlers, all the oil control seals, which obviously you can't just go to your seal shop and get new T-34 final drive seals. So that was brilliant, we've had them made, but obviously there's a bit of an error of communication. We've only got enough seals to do one side, so now we've got to wait a bit longer for some more seals. I'm not going to blame Super Seal, they did a good job, but yeah, we've got something wrong there. So I need to get on the phone and, well, we already have, we're just waiting on another set now, which could take weeks, because obviously they're not off the shelf. So we're waiting on that, when obviously clearly we've not got distracted by anything else in the meantime while we're waiting. But this is the trouble when you're doing this sort of thing. You can't just do one vehicle at a time generally, because things like that, when you're dealing with things that you can't get parts for, you can be waiting weeks and months for parts. We think we've got everything we need for the engine, but again, when we start putting it together, we'll probably realise actually we need this and we need that, and then we'll be weeks again. So it's going to take some time, and you know, we could bodge it, we could have put the old seals back in and put it together, and it would have been a waste of time because it would have all leaked, and I don't want to make a mess of this, or we don't want to make a mess of this. So it's going to take a bit of time, unfortunately, so you'll have to be patient, but it's not entirely our fault getting distracted constantly. We are waiting on things like this quite often, but we could paint it, I suppose, but we'll get the foam painted up first. and then we'll probably put some. I don't want to paint the outer coat yet because we'll no doubt
overspray on it.
Get overspray on it and dust.
Yeah.
So really, when we paint it, I want to try and get everything together and then just assemble it, paint it, so it looks good when we initially get it out. We've also still got a fair lot to do in here. Last video, basically, we were showing we were needle gunning the whole of the interior. Now, obviously, I didn't sandblast the interior because although it won't damage the cables too badly, it doesn't also do dials.
Don't agree with it, and there is still a lot of it.
So, you know, yeah, we could have took all the dials out individually, which we might do yet and paint round, but I don't want the sandblast to get anywhere near it. And to be honest, I want to try and get the engine bay sort of painted, fuel tanks back in, and start to assemble all the engine and treat it as two halves. So we'll try and do the back half first and then work our way forward. And then obviously, because when you're getting in, especially with the engine, you have to keep jumping on top, jumping on the back. If there is any oil or anything, we're going to have muddy prints all over the inside. When you're putting it together and you're trying to make it neat, you have to think about it. You can't just paint it all in one go because there's a lot of climbing in and a lot of climbing out. Another reason why we're not going to be painting this in the final coat until the engine and the interior is actually pretty much done, because we'll be climbing all over it, scratching it, because you can't help it. You can't expect the person to keep getting through here
without touching anything.
A technical spanner, it's not really on. So yeah, so keep up to date with us on this if you're new to the channel. If you like T-34s, we'll hopefully have it going. How long do you think it'll take? You reckon it'll be
if we get on with it, maybe just before Christmas, but it depends on, like you say, on parts, doesn't it?
Hopefully the next video we do of this, I really want to just get the engine that we picked up,
ran up.
We'll get that a stand.
Yeah, good idea.
And we'll try running that up to make sure that's okay, and then we'll probably just take the rock covers off before we show you all the rock covers off, check it all over what we can before we do run it. Massimano showed me how to rig it up outside the tank. That was good of him. So we'll do a little video of that. That'll probably be the next video we do of the T-34.
Yeah.
Where we'll be running the engine up alone on a stand. So that should be interesting. Hopefully it doesn't wreck itself. Yeah. Thanks for watching and stuff.